The following program is being brought to you on the Seventh Wave Network. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit seventhwavenetwork.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to School of Miracles Radio with your host, Heather Scavetta. Have you ever wanted to communicate with a loved one in spirit? Here, you will learn how to see, hear, and feel as mediums and psychics do. Everyone can learn how to communicate with their spirit team of guides and loved ones. No previous experience is necessary. Come with us as we enter a beautiful world that you never knew you were a part of. Now, here is Heather Scavetta.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Today, we're going to be talking about what is spirituality and how does that relate to religion. Are they different? Are they the same? Can they coexist? And another one of my favorite topics, which is Jesus. And I think it's appropriate that we talk about Jesus on the same program that we're talking about spirituality and religion together. You know, if you're listening to this show, you're probably on the spiritual path and you're interested in learning more and listening to concepts that perhaps are new to you, or perhaps it's just reconfirming what you yourself have learned on the path. A lot of people who say they are religious can often steer away from spirituality because there is a perception that they are in conflict. And what I'd like to talk about today is to dispel that myth. You know, after my daughter died, I didn't really know anything. I decided that I would set everything aside. I had converted to being Catholic after the girls were born, and but I wasn't brought up in a religious upbringing, so I didn't really have any preconceived notions about who Jesus is or what religion is, and I wanted to have a way to share some of the higher concepts of what religion stands for my girls. And my husband already being Catholic, it seemed like a good fit. And I really enjoyed the Bible classes and going to church with the girls. And I did that for quite a long time as a family. And then as the girls got busier and was going to dance classes and we were skiing and things like that, it kind of got set aside. But we always had a sense that there is something, that there is somebody listening to our prayers. But I wouldn't say we were extreme or orthodox or anything like that. And so when Elizabeth died, it really calls into question your faith. You naturally go there and you decide whether you're going to embrace that. And a lot of people are very angry when horrible things happen to them. And for a while, they kind of ditch that. They ditch their religion. And you know what? It's kind of a natural reaction, because when something horrible happens to you, you want to lash out. And often, God is the first one to get it. It's okay. He can handle it. And I knew that when I started going on this spiritual path, when I realized that Elizabeth was still alive and still in our life and around me, I started to question, how does this fit in with being Catholic, and what is spirituality? And so I just kind of set everything aside and started again. because I didn't know how it was going to work together or if it could. And so I just set everything aside and I said, let's start again. Let's start fresh. And if you've listened to my previous programs or read my book, you kind of know my story. But those first few months were, imagine waking up every morning and living your nightmare. And that's how it was, knowing that Elizabeth had passed. And when I started to reach out, which you can call prayer, and asked for help in this because I knew I couldn't do it alone. I knew there were no answers here. That's when my life really turned around. Did I have faith? I must have had some faith because I felt that somebody was hearing this, that somebody could hear my prayer. And when I invited Spirit in, whether it's Jesus, whether it's God, the angels, however you want to describe that, because again, see, I was kind of starting from scratch. I opened that door, and that's when everything changed. You see, God doesn't want to bend us to our knees to make us talk to Him. That's how a lot of people view His role. What I'm saying is, He needs an invitation to be recognized again in your life. And you can think of God as an old man. You can think of God as the sun and God as the universe, whatever works for you. I don't think He cares what label you use. What I have learned is that spirituality and religion can coexist. And if you want to keep it simple, spirituality is really embracing your own path and picking and choosing what you believe and what you want to incorporate in your life. And so if you meet somebody and they say they're spiritual, then you know that they're kind of mixing things up and taking a bit of this belief from that religion maybe, or no religion whatsoever. Whatever works for you is the spiritual path. Religion is more about doctrine, is more about these are the rules and you need to follow these rules. And there is no judgment in that, because if that's where you are and that serves you and that makes sense to you, then by all means embrace that. But what I am saying is you can mix the two together, that they can coexist. What started happening to me was I started to see visions and movies every morning. And they would play out in front of me like I'm looking at a TV, let's say, or a movie screen. And I would see beautiful images in color of landscapes and animals and my daughter. And that really set it for me, that the afterlife is real, that there is something else. But still at that point, I didn't know what. And I also started to receive visions of lions and a male lion looking at me, doing different things. And I really felt that this lion was telling me to be strong and have courage. For indeed, there was a huge part of me that didn't want to live anymore. And so every day I would see this vision of the lion helping me. What I learned through the progression of the visions and my path, I learned that this lion is Jesus. And He is Jesus. He is both the lion and the lamb. And the lion is the power of love. And how that coexists with the lamb, which is surrender. Because when you're in that moment, receiving love or giving love, there is a surrender that happens. It is a great mystery what love is. And I feel that Jesus reached out to me to help me on this journey. And He still is very much in my prayers and thoughts every day. it really accelerated when I went through a time where I started to be very fearful. And I started to pray an old prayer and start to talk to him every day. Because after a while, to talk to your family and friends about your pain, no matter what it is, can be tiresome. And you want to spare them the sorrow as well. And one thing I did learn from Sunday school was that Jesus is the go-between between God and you. It's easier to talk to him because he came and he was like us for a while. He is like us still. And so I started building a relationship with him. And I got more visions of him communicating with me and telling me that he's with me. As I developed my channeling ability, being able to allow Spirit to speak through me, a deep feeling inside came alive when, after a workshop one day after Easter, this is 2013, he spoke through me to the group of participants in the workshop. I was overwhelmed with humility. I was so happy. It was so overwhelming. And I felt a great honor that we are working together. And I am no different than any of you. Spirit is working with you every day. But you can increase that communication by being aware of how Spirit can talk to you. Before you jump out of bed in the morning, can you just lay there for a moment or longer if you can, and just be aware of what you're seeing, of how you're feeling, of what thought may be in your mind. Maybe this is a good time for you to say a prayer and to just spend some time saying thank you or asking for what you want. And in channeling class last night, I have a channeling circle, and I had a student who was speaking in channel, and she said that God loves to hear our voice. And I thought it was so beautiful that whenever we speak from the heart, it doesn't have to be out loud. He hears our thoughts. He knows our feelings. He hears us, and he longs to have everyone home with him. On this earth, there is the illusion that we are separate from one another, that we are alone. But this is an illusion, because our true reality is unity. We're always with him. And whether you believe in Jesus or not, Jesus is with us too. If you aren't comfortable with Jesus and the way that we perceive him, you can think of him as the energy of love. And he says over and over that he is one with the Father, because the Father is love too. God is love too. That is his energy, his love, right? So I wanted to share with you some channels of Jesus speaking through me, because I want to take this opportunity to share his message with everyone. And again, you don't have to be practicing a religion. You can be on your own journey, and you can also combine both, the spiritual and the religious journey together. That's what I do. I feel I'm more religious now than I was before. So everything is okay. Every path is acceptable. So stay with me. We're going to be back in a few.
The Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Visit schoolofmiracles.ca to find out about Heather Scavetta and her channeled life readings and School of Miracles. Heather blends her energy with the council to bring forth their words of guidance and encouragement that can help you take that next step forward on your spiritual path. You may also attend classes and workshops at School of Miracles in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada area. Learn to communicate with your loved ones, spirit guides, animals, and others in your spirit team. For more information, please visit schoolofmiracles.ca. Tony Scavetta has been giving mediumship readings since 2004. His exceptional gift of clairvoyance will provide validation that your loved ones did not die and are here with you today. Experience healing through knowing your loved one is still with you and receive personal messages from them. Private and group sessions are available. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca and book through the calendar for Tony's availability. That's schoolofmiracles.ca.
Be visionary. Be extraordinary. Be the change. This is the Seventh Wave Channel on the Voice America Network.
You are listening to School of Miracles Radio. If you have a question or comment about the program, please send Heather an email to info@schoolofmiracles.ca. That's info@schoolofmiracles.ca. Now, back to this week's show.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for staying with me. In the first segment, we were talking about spirituality and religion, and about Jesus, and a little bit about what he stands for. Whether you believe or not, you can think of him as the energy of love and forgiveness. And I was honored to have Jesus speak through me on many occasions. And I have a few channels here that I'd like to share with you, because I think part of receiving information from spirit, higher knowledge, there is no point just keeping it to yourself. I think there is a definite need in the world now to have this knowledge shared so that others can be uplifted and encouraged. And so I really want to share these channels with you. So if you can, if it's safe to do so, perhaps you can relax and close your eyes and listen to the words that Jesus spoke, because the words themselves have a very strong vibration. And I feel they have a strong vibration of truth. And you may feel a deep resonance within to the truth of the words. Just to help you along, if you think of God as the energy of love, this may help you understand what Jesus is saying. But again, he says it perfectly. So this is a channel that I did for an introduction to meditation workshop back in 2013. And I channeled at the end of the workshop to the participants. And these are the words he spoke to them. So these are people who are just starting their spiritual journey, just starting learning how to meditate and to listen to spirit. My dear ones, we have started a journey, you and I. And so be not afraid, for I am with you always. You have been born to greatness. Do you not understand this? Rejoice, for I am offering you peace. I come from love. This you know well. Forever we are bound together. We cannot be separate. From now on you are safe, for you have never left the vision of the Father. Together we are one. Together we are each other's salvation. Alone we cannot do the Father's will, for it is impossible. Together we are fulfilling his desire. When you understand that all has been provided for you, you will cease to worry. Join together, help one another. For this too is not only the will of the Father, it is the will of you, of me. Together we are one. Together we are one will. We cannot be separate from His will. Acknowledge us, acknowledge who you are, and be not afraid, for indeed this truth will set you free. And there will be no more need of want, of take, of imposing your desires on another, for you will know that you have everything you need. Now, in this moment, you need not search. You need not strive. Accept. This is not born of religion. This is not born of spirituality. This is born of where you come from. Forever, we are bound to one another. Find peace in this. And so you can see from Jesus' words that He Himself is not aligning with religion or spirituality and saying it has to be one, the other, or both. He's saying it's who you are. It's where we come from. And so try not to get hung up on the details of describing the path. And so I'd like to move on to the next channel. This is interesting too. This is for a mediumship workshop. There are many people who feel that the spiritual path, communicating with spirit, cannot coexist with religion, because a lot of religions say that you're not allowed to do what I'm doing. And I thought it was amazing that I had just completed a mediumship workshop, which is teaching others how to communicate with their loved ones in spirit, when Jesus came through the channel. So He did not say that what we are doing is not okay. He actually supported what we were doing, because the intent is that we're trying to help one another by doing this. So I don't want to put my words on Jesus's. Let me say the channel for you now. So this is from April 27th, 2013. So he's talking to the mediumship students, but I know he wants you to hear these words too, and this is why I'm sharing them with you. Each of you has been given many opportunities to expand the self, to learn about yourself. When you know who you are able to look at the world, at your brothers and sisters, and see yourself. You have been born to greatness. There is a power that moves through each of you. This is a gift from the Father Himself, for He wills all to be at peace, and also to move throughout existence in a way that will honor Him. And so continue on your quest, for each of you is searching for love, knowing that you not only live in this time and space, but that you live with us for all eternity. This is true. Relax, for all has been provided for you. You need not worry about tomorrow, for it will take care of itself. In this moment, you have everything you need. Can you see your brothers and sisters beside you? You need to know that you are not alone, that your life has purpose and meaning, and so continue on your spiritual quest to seek, to find. But know too that what you seek, you have already found. But there are those of you who do not know this, those who feel lost and alone and abandoned, and they look for what you know, and so reach out to them and show your gifts, for they are in need of healing. And as you give, so shall you receive. Blessed are those who share the gifts of the Father, and indeed you are blessed. So you can see from that channel that He's supporting mediumship, that He's supporting helping others heal from their loss, from their grief, and to recognize that we do live in an eternity and that we do live forever. And you can see that some of the things that he said in the first channel, he also said in the second. So you can see there are definite themes that he is repeating and reinforcing. So a favorite one of mine is from March 2015, and it came right after Easter. And I'd like to share Jesus' words with you now. Together there is unity, not only of mind, but of purpose. When we band together, we can accomplish the impossible. Reserve your doubts for another time, for right now, all is possible. You can be part of this channel of light by allowing the truth to be spoken. Do not keep this knowledge only for yourself, but share it freely, for love searches out those places that are in need. Do you not see that you have come to do this? The place you call your home is one that is in need. You are its savior. You cannot rest until you continue my work, for I have led the way for you to follow. At this time, you gather in my name to celebrate my sacrifice for you. Can you not see there was no sacrifice made, for I came to give you my love? Have patience for one another, for we are all part of the life that the Father has bestowed upon you. You can honor him by honoring life. Believe that I came for you. Rejoice as I arose to show you that death can be overcome. Celebrate the rise in awareness of you, that you can know eternal life also. Do not focus on the crucifixion. Instead, can you see that I am still with you? There is no need to sacrifice your life. Instead, can you celebrate the joy of life itself? In celebration, we can all come together to unite in common purpose. With strength, we can rely on the Father to bring us what we need, for he has provided for you. Can you understand that life is for you? I think that's another powerful channel for him to remind us that we have everything we need and we don't need to worry. And I think it also addresses how religion oftentimes focuses, Christian religion, on the crucifixion and the sacrifice. Instead, can we look at that he arose from the dead, and we do too, that when we pass from this world, we continue to live, just as my daughter does. She's still alive. She's still participating in our lives, and she has her own life as well. So something that I do through the channels is I offer private channels for people to bring through higher knowledge for them, to help them understand where they are on their journey, where they are in their life right now. And sometimes Jesus comes through to speak to them, and other times it is the pre-birth council, the group of ascended masters who helped you formulate your life before you came. And through the channel, they speak through me to tell you where you are and if there's a next step for you to take, or they'll give you a different perspective on what's happening. This is not a psychic reading. This is a journey that you take with them. And for a short time, I'm the channel so they can speak directly to you. Beautiful messages come through in the channels. And I do have my favorites. And I have a channel that is on the same topic that we're talking about today, religion, spirituality. And I'd like to share with you that channel after we come back from this short break. So stay with me.
is the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Tony Scavetta has been giving mediumship readings since 2004. His exceptional gift of clairvoyance will provide validation that your loved ones did not die and are here with you today. Experience healing through knowing your loved one is still with you and receive personal messages from them. Private and group sessions are available. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca and book through the calendar for Tony's availability. That's schoolofmiracles.ca. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca to find out about Heather Scavetta and her channeled life readings and School of Miracles. Heather blends her energy with the council to bring forth their words of guidance and encouragement that can help you take that next step forward on your spiritual path. You may also attend classes and workshops at School of Miracles in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada area. Learn to communicate with your loved ones, spirit guides, animals, and others in your spirit team. For more information, please visit schoolofmiracles.ca.
The Voice America 7th Wave Channel. Be extraordinary. Be the change.
You are listening to School of Miracles Radio. If you have a question or comment about the program, please send Heather an email to info@schoolofmiracles.ca. That's info@schoolofmiracles.ca. Now, back to this week's show.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for staying with me. Now, I said before break that I would like to share a private channel that I did for a young lady. And I thought that the messages were particularly beautiful. And I know that the council would love for me to share it with you, for there are many principles in what they had to say to this young lady that I know many of you would love to hear. And maybe it'll be new information for you. Maybe it'll be confirmation of what you have already come to understand. But I would like to share that with you now. So keep in mind, this is the council. This is your pre-birth council talking. There is a special place for you. Do not be concerned about where it is. Instead, can you trust that we have prepared a place just for you? This place is full of glory and offers you a place to rest, to understand, to heal. You need not wait to visit this place, even though you are set in time. This place is of eternity and is always for you. Visiting this place takes no effort at all, just a will, a desire to be at rest. So often we see those who worry constantly, who fret about this and that, about this person and that person, and yet all is as it should be. Can you trust in this? This place you can visit, it is true, by thought, but not with thought that is devised by you. Instead, it has already been set within, and you are able to access that passageway through the heart, to the soul, to your source. It is a journey of the self to know the Creator on a personal and intimate way. He already knows you, knows all, and needs not to learn himself. But you have been mistaken on so many journeys, looking here for that, looking there for this, and yet it has always been within. The journey within is an intimate journey, and this journey can be facilitated by events seeming real to you, but also events that are on a global scale, for you are not alone. Even though that place is just for you, there are also places set for all your brothers and sisters, and so you are on a solo journey and at the same time bound by those you have known and have yet to meet in this life who have already agreed to be part of your journey, to be part of the love you are accumulating. This love that you are gathering are treasures that will always be with you. It is true they are stored in heaven and will never be forgotten. Do not be concerned about those who do not treasure what you offer, those who may tried upon the heart, those who may not be able to see your true beauty just yet. They have in a different time and place, but for now, they too are cloaked in forgetfulness and feel they have more to learn, more to experience, and so here they are again. Can you have patience with those who do not seem to care, who do not seem to see you truly, who have their own desires, their own ambitions, and are busy with their own details to notice that the bigger picture has fallen away? Your eyes can remain set to see the truth in all circumstances, all places, all events, and all people. Do not let the world take from you. Instead, can you ask, what can I give? The world is not here to change you. Instead, the world is here to show you your true light, your true heart, and to reveal to you in those instances when you are full of fear and doubt that you do possess a spark of hope that is difficult to extinguish. What is that hope? What is that spark that you carry? It is the heart of God. It is His gift to you. That hope will never be extinguished. You may choose to cover it up for a while. You may choose to ignore it. That is your choice and the choice of others. But we are here to tell you that that light is always there, always been there. Can you trust in that? Can you take comfort in that? For indeed, we speak the truth. And at this point in the channel, they offered the young lady an opportunity to ask a question. And in my channels, they typically offer a chance to ask them 3 questions of your choice. And so they not only tell you from their perspective what it is they want you to know, but they also give you an opportunity to ask what is most important, what is in your heart. And so going along with the theme of today, spirituality and religion, this young lady has been thinking about joining the Mormon religion. And it doesn't really matter that they are addressing the Mormon religion. It is just the fact that they are addressing the question of about choosing a religious life and if that is appropriate to our path here. And so I was very interested in what they would have to say to this question. So this is her question. I was wondering if I chose to live a Mormon life for the rest of my life. So she's just asking, what do they think about that? And is that a good choice for her? And this is what the council said to her. Indeed, religions can offer comfort, can offer a sense of community and belonging. You are free to choose what you need. You are free to choose that community, for indeed you long for that. You are still with us, and we are community for you, but we understand that here, in this time and place, it can feel very much alone. You are free to choose the path of Mormon. You are free to choose any path that feels correct for you. In time, you will understand that all paths lead home. And so there is no path that is wrong or right. It is but a path. Be confident in expressing your will by the choices you make. This is part of the reason you have come, to find out what you are drawn to find out what you reject, and to play. It is okay to pursue endeavors that will bring to you information and experience. You need not believe that all is perfect here. Instead, you will find your choices will lead you in the appropriate direction. The House of Mormon is one that is taken upon those who believe that Jesus Christ was the answer and is. If you take that promise as truth, then indeed you have found your way. For He is the way, the truth, and the light. Can you adopt His teachings as your own? For He has come to show you who you are. He does not set Himself above you, but instead joins with you. This is an important distinction of His relationship with you. Do not put him ahead of you, but he can direct your steps. And I just love that response to that question. Oftentimes, we put Jesus on a pedestal. We think we are not like him. We think we are different. Yes, he completed his journey on earth perfectly, but he came to show us the way and many other reasons why he came. And he himself said that what he can do, we can do, and even more. And what's so interesting about his energy is when Jesus comes to me, I often see him as a violet light, and I see an outline of a person more often. He comes in different ways, but I see him often like this. And I feel surrounded with love, and I'm always excited to see his energy and to have him come forward, because perhaps at that time I just needed some reassurance that he is there. Because part of being in this physical expression is that we do doubt sometimes. We sometimes do fear the present and the future. And so we need that reassurance from spirit. And our loved ones do that so often by giving us signs and coming in our dreams, but also our examples of how we are living our life work with us. And for me, I oftentimes revert back to the popular expression, what would Jesus do? And I do lean on that, and I do try to embrace those teachings. But you know what? I'm learning like everybody else, and sometimes I get off track. So I enjoy seeing him, and I see him as this bright violet energy. One of my favorite visions of him coming to me was when I saw an image all gold. I also see him as gold, and gold to me means power. And he is obviously very powerful because he understands perfectly where that power comes from. And absolutely all that power comes from God, because God is love and love is the power, hence the name of my book. I could not choose another title, because to me, this is why this has all happened. This is why my daughter came to me, continues to come to me, because it's all through the power of love. And so just to finish a little bit from this continuation of this counsel reading for this young lady, she also was interested in strengthening her faith and her spiritual protection. And oftentimes when we are brought up with religion, we not only learn about God's love, but we also learn about evil forces. And what is that? What are those evil forces? And do we have to be protected by them? And do we need to have to know anything about that? I feel very much that while we are in form and on the earth, that there are many energies that can present in that way that are devoid of most light, who don't understand love. We definitely can know some people like that, and there can be people in spirit also, other people that are continuing their journey of evolution as a soul, and they can present as what you may call a lower energy, something that is lacking light, which is really just saying lacking love. Maybe they just never really understood what that is, or made a choice not to embrace it. However, that comes. So what I'd like to do is just talk to you a little bit about that and what they had to say about the perception of an evil spirit and how you can protect yourself. So back in a few.
This is the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Visit schoolofmiracles.ca to find out about Heather Scavetta and her channeled life readings and School of Miracles. Heather blends her energy with the council to bring forth their words of guidance and encouragement that can help you take that next step forward on your spiritual path. You may also attend classes and workshops at School of Miracles in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada area. Learn to communicate with your loved ones, spirit guides, animals, and others in your spirit team. For more information, please visit schoolofmiracles.ca. Tony Scavetta has been giving mediumship readings since 2004. His exceptional gift of clairvoyance will provide validation that your loved ones did not die and are here with you today. Experience healing through knowing your loved one is still with you and receive personal messages from them. Private and group sessions are available. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca and book through the calendar for Tony's availability. That's schoolofmiracles.ca.
The Voice America 7th Wave Channel. Seek greater awareness.
You are listening to School of Miracles Radio. If you have a question or comment about the program, please send Heather an email to info@schoolofmiracles.ca. That's info@schoolofmiracles.ca. Now, back to this week's show.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for staying with me. So I'm still completing this private channeling session that I did for this young lady. And so this is the council speaking. And this is another question that she had, which was, how do I strengthen my light and my faith and my spiritual protection against evil spirits? So I thought this was really interesting, and I was eager to hear what the council had to say. So this is their response to that. It is true there are negative forces. These forces come about by those who wish evil upon you. Those evil forces come from those who are lost and do not wish to see the truth in any form. They are under the illusion that they direct life and wish to prove it so by manipulating the weak and those who are unsure of themselves. You can defend against such evil by knowing that you have the One who is able to deflect any curses, any misdirections from others. Recognize that you alone can do little, but with His help, all is possible. This is not to say that the world cannot prey upon you. Instead, you must find faith and hope. These are forces that will serve you well. Nothing that happens in the world is random. All is designed to encourage you, to have you understand what is most important. Align yourself with those truths, and you will have no concern that these energies will plague on you. Ask for forgiveness, and this will open door to more grace. Those who feel they need to ask are relying on themselves, and this is their folly. True strength comes from knowing who you are and who is with you always. Never let go of that, and you will have much success. So you can see by that answer that the council was reinforcing that all strength comes from recognizing our source, recognizing our Creator, recognizing God. And we can remember from the previous answer to her other questions was that hope is really the heart of God, the light of God that is in us. It's very difficult to distinguish hope because we are always alive with Him. We are always connected with Him. And so it was interesting that they said that there are negative forces, and indeed we are in this physical world that plays off of positive and negative forces, but that if we align with our truth, that love is the power, that we are aligned and are with that power, that we can pray from a position of strength because we know who we are. Instead of believing that you are separate from that source and praying for God to intervene, for it's hard to put the words together, but to incense in essence, reinforce that separation? Can you reinforce the fact that you cannot be separate from God because you're alive? You cannot be separate from life, and He is life. He is what makes everything alive. So when you know that, when you know who you are, that you are a child of God, then you can sit in that strength. You can come from that power, knowing that you are joined with Him. This, I believe, is part of Jesus' message, that He knew He could not be separate from the Father, the Creator, from God, that He is one with Him. And when we move to that discovery, when we come to that realization that we are always with Him, we are always joined, because life is one energy, the energy of life, that we can, whenever something comes to us that we deem as negative, or we're having challenges with illness or negative people around us, that we can align ourselves with that strength and to reinforce that connection. And I believe that a lot of what we're doing here, whether the religious or spiritual path, however you want to call it, is to awake to that knowledge. And once you awaken and you know that, then you can start to share that with others and help them to remember to wake up from the illusion that we are separate from that we are separate from our source. Now, she also had a question that she wanted to know about her career path as a healer, and if she was going to move into helping people with these negative forces and how to encourage them. And I think it was really interesting what they had to respond to her in that. So I'll just share that with you, and then that's the end of this channel. There are many at this time that are looking for assistance. The world is always in need of more healers and those that have stepped into that role who are committed. You will find different circumstances that you have experienced will help you understand those who come forward into your energy. Some will come from the world of spirit, and others will be present here. And this is your choice to assist in this way. It would be necessary for you to take a covenant to draw on the energies to assist you. For indeed, you cannot do this alone. This covenant will provide a foundation of strength, of knowledge, of interception. This covenant can be taken by you at any time. You must give what is necessary in order to receive. Some of what you feel you need, you should be placed aside in exchange for true strength, true ally. Look less to situations and more to energetic fields of exchange for this to happen. You must give up your fears completely. Are you able to do this? Are you able to trust? Because if you cannot, then we implore you to delay this activity. Instead, work at announcing your own freedom from fear. This is most important before you delve in too deeply. For if you do not, you will find circumstances that will surround you for you to be able to learn this lesson. When you are ready, you will know. You will be able to step into it completely and trust. Remember, during these endeavors, you are contributing to the growth of love upon the planet, but also you are extending your wisdom and knowledge to those who are observing, to those who are witnessing, and so indeed you are a teacher also. There is a part of you that is willing to risk yourself for others. You must look deeper and understand that even though the one has done this, you need not do it yourself. Instead, can you renounce all fear and doubt instead? You need not sacrifice yourself for any other, for this has already been accomplished. There is no glory in sacrificing your life. Arm yourself with what you need and be strong. And you can look to actually a Bible verse from Proverbs 27:17 that really talks about arming yourself with what you need and being strong. And so what are they really saying to her, this lovely lady who wants to step in and be a healer and help other people, is that you need to be strong yourself and work on the healing of the self first. Because if you are not fully cognizant of where this power is coming from and working in alliance with your spirit guides and helpers and with God, then you are going into a situation where you don't have that backup. So you need to pursue this yourself and to work through the journey of self-healing so that you can come out the other end being a very strong healer, knowing that you have done that journey yourself and learnt yourself. So don't step into it too quickly as a way to step aside the work that you can do on knowing yourself and dispelling your fears and doubts. So again, it's a process. Every step leads you to the next step. Don't look too far ahead. Just what do you need now? And if you do need help in healing, in understanding these situations, then search out one who has gone through the healing journey, who understands this, and so they can help you. Definitely, this is something that I do through my channels. And so if you need help, if you need some advice from the council, I would love to sit with you and give you a channeled reading for you, just for you. Every channeled reading is completely unique and tailored to what the individual needs. So if you would like to do that, you can drop me an email or visit my website, schoolofmiracles.ca, and book a channeled reading. I am able to do this over the telephone or over Skype or in person if you're in the Greater Toronto area in Canada. Just want to say hi to all my listeners out there. I really appreciate you connecting in each week. And I just want to say a special hello to China. There are a lot of people from China that are listening to this program. So I hope you join me next week. We've got lots of interesting information to give you. And in the meantime, I would love to answer your questions on air. So if you could drop me an email, I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to next week.
Thank you for tuning in to School of Miracles Radio. Please join your host, Heather Scavetta, again next Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America's 7th Wave channel. We hope to have you join us again next week. And remember, you are never alone. Your loved ones and spirit guides are always around you.